Hey guys, and welcome back to Anything Goes, episode number 31, which is exciting. And
Yes.
we're back. The weekly podcast is back after a long hiatus. Is that the right word?
I have no idea, mate.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back. The last one was an update. So we talked through prep, what's been going on, because we had to take a little break basically because of prep and just we were both so busy. My head was gone.
Schedules just didn't align at all.
No,
Like it
it
just
was
didn't
mad.
work.
So we're on it now, though. We're going to schedule the podcast in. So you'll be getting a new podcast every Tuesday. And we did like an update. So we're basically going to chat through what's going on going forward because you've got biz stuff going on.
Yeah.
We're both going into you're in off season. I'm going into off season.
You can tell by my cheeks. Come on, man.
Mine will soon be back.
You're still so lean in the face.
I know. To be fair, I haven't really put any weight on. And my weight came up like a couple of pounds from my show day weight, but it's kind of stuck around. So
Maybe because you're just less stressed. If you guys have listened to the previous podcast, like by the sounds of things, like the in-between stage for you was really stressful. And that's
yeah,
probably played a part in your body weight and stuff. And now you've kind of like, even though you are still stressed because you've got a lot of stuff going on,
yeah.
you're less stressed about prep and you're got less pressure on yourself and you're probably just enjoying time a little bit more.
Yeah, it has been so nice just going out and doing life stuff. So we're going to talk about what's going on, plans going forward, competing plans, exciting stuff. So
Why are you looking at me like that? You're like,
because I want to hear, I don't even know what you're doing competing wise.
to be honest, neither do I.
Let's just wing it and see what happens.
So let's talk about both of our businesses because we've both actually gone through a similar kind of like route. We've both taken on new coaches, which is incredible. And you helped me through my process because I honestly had no idea where to start. Remember,
It looks like it's going well though.
It's, you know what, it is like Amy, I love her. She is honestly the best person like I could have picked. Like just like she actually wasn't going to apply because obviously I feel like a lot of people didn't think I think a lot of people thought I was going to go for a client.
Yeah.
And because that's just kind of like generally the route you go on. It's the norm, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I saw her and she's an ex-gymnast, she's an ex-dancer, she used to teach, she's got kids. She had a really, really good season this year. She was actually at the British. She came fourth in bikini.
Amazing.
She got her NFM or GBO pro card.
Yeah.
Like she is like she pretty much on paper was amazing. But I was really, really nervous at the beginning, like, am I gonna get on with her? Because I need to click with her because obviously when clients did apply, I knew that I clicked on with them. But the issue that I had with bringing on a client was I've already got that relationship with you, and it'd be very hard to convert that into, or I would find it very hard to
professional relationship.
in a professional one. So it was so like the finalists actually, they either only had 1 or 2 sessions with me or they had no sessions with me at all. And I generally found I moved more towards that just because I knew where I wanted to direct my business. But no, Amy is honestly amazing. Like we've only just launched her. The website, I don't even want to talk about that. It's absolute chaos. We've only so it was meant to be done 2 weeks ago on her launch date. But we've only just gone through the final edits. Yes.
In terms of like being able to book in with her
with the website. So like it's not been the best customer kind of like, like the customer route. It's where they have to go on the link and then they have to do this and they have to do that. And it's just been, they've not been able to see her photos or her bios or her current transformation. So it has been a bit of a slower start than we originally thought. But then again, I knew that I wanted to start her at a quiet time for posing because I wanted to do discounts where it didn't devalue her service because people are looking for discounts right now, but also because I can't train her when I don't have time, and I
This
have
is
more
literally
time.
why I bought Nikon at this time, because it's quiet, lots of time for training, and then you can hit the ground running come like January, February.
This is it. Like, I don't know if maybe you're getting the same thing, but things are just a bit slower this time of the
Yeah,
year,
very.
especially with people that don't trust people. Like, people aren't going to trust Amy 100% right now, even if she is trained by me or not.
Yeah,
Like, she's had a few clients, like she's had a client already on stage, and she's had like 6 posing sessions booked in already, and she's come to like group posing events with me, and
yeah,
we've got her on the LFP site. Like, she is like
yeah,
starting to like get into the groove of things. But right now, this time period is for me to get people to trust her, and like, you'll see that she's more active on social media than maybe I am. She is posting more things than I am, because I'm wanting people to think of LFP and think of it as a team, not as
yeah,
Sania.
yeah.
That's
And it's
why.
hard, isn't it, when people know, because people know LFP is Sania, and
Yeah,
it's like people trust you because you've been in front of people for years and years,
yeah,
like showing your journey, and now you're trying to build someone else up to
yes.
like the same level, but people don't know that person. So it's, you have to create that buy-in to that person, which takes a lot of time.
It takes so much time. Like, it's not just about lower price, it's about, is that price worth it, or do I just spend an extra 15 quid to go to Sanaya? And it's like
Yeah,
one of
and
those things where it's hard, because it's like,
yeah,
it's hard to know that you've done the pricing right as
yeah,
like the owner. It's hard to know how to gain that client trust with people.
yeah,
It's really difficult bringing someone on. It's quite stressful,
it
because you
is.
also promise them, you also tell them how much they could be earning with certain
Yeah,
amounts of clients, and they won't reach that for the first couple of weeks. So then you also have to keep morale up for that, for
yeah,
Amy or that new coach. Like, it's gonna come, like, I promise you, like, you're gonna be earning 4 digit very soon. You just need to
yeah,
wait for it to be season time.
yeah,
And I said to her, I was like, girl, I've only had like a few sessions this month. Like, I'm even quiet myself. Like, so then let alone bringing someone else on, it's
yeah,
very difficult, and people, it's expensive this time of the year. So you know what, it's going to plan in the sense of like, I'm able to, like, we're on figure training now. Like, she can do
yeah,
spider bikini, she knows IFBB bikini. Obviously, she will only get better the
yeah.
more and more she does it.
The
But
socials got sick though.
thank you.
Yeah,
Honestly, like, we've been trying, like, we've gone, like, we literally, when we went to London this weekend, like, she's already traveled to London with me.
mm,
Like, we planned out like what we wanted, and I wanted to be her to be more interactive. So we've actually started to do
mm,
every Monday to do LFP lives, where
yeah,
she's basically the main person, but then I'll join on my main account, so like it filters that way.
yeah. That sounds good.
And we've just done like top tips this week. I bought her a mic just so that she can essentially be a little bit more like
Yeah.
interactive that way.
Hmm.
But how are things going with Nicola? That's her name,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
her name?
Nick,
Yeah.
amazing. So she's a really, really great coach, which is what I wanted. Someone with experience, really like the loveliest person ever. Obviously, slightly different angle to me as well, because she basically she's a little bit older, but she's been through like early menopause. So
Okay.
she's got a lot of experience around like that sort of level, obviously competes, so can help
She
with that
competes
side
at
of
a high level
things.
as well, doesn't
Yeah,
she?
very high level. So it's just we're both like on the same page with everything. She like aligns with where I want things to go business wise. We've just been, and again, it's like what you said, it's like you go from doing coaching yourself and being a coach to like basically running a business, because you're trying to do like the planning and the admin and their social media. And you then, I've got like, because I've got India as well, who does like some behind the scenes stuff for me and some social media stuff, and we're having like team meetings. So you go from like coaching to like trying to manage a business, which I think is quite a different thing.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person, like you said about the Pose and 8 course, like, I ask you about something, it's out the next day. Like, I've planned
Yeah,
everything, I've done it. And I struggle to remember Amy's the team now, so now you can't
yeah,
just do something. You need to inform her. And like, there was like this decision that I made for LFP, and I was like, oh my God, Amy, I was like, I completely forgot to tell you, I've asked so and so to be part of so and so.
yeah,
And it was like, I'm so sorry. I should have asked for your opinion because they will be part of our team. Like they're going to be, So I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, are you happy with it? I was like, they've already signed the contract, so
it's just getting that mindset shift, isn't it? And I think it's like managing people, and it's like learning how to manage people as well.
Yeah, and knowing when you're asking too much, or when you're not asking enough, or or how you even say things. Like, are you being pushy? Like, I know I am a very massive control freak, and sometimes the way that I say things and mean to direct things are two different ways.
And
a lot of the time I'm very much, I'll just do it because I can do it better.
It's hard, isn't it? And I think it's like, because it's your bit, like you'll be the same. I know exactly what I want my business to run like and what I want it to look like. So it's like I've got this vision in my head, so then you're trying to like align everything with that. And it's sometimes very difficult because then you've got multiple other people involved, but that's at the end of the day, like that's how you grow business, isn't it? So it's all exciting.
This is it. Like, you can only train someone so much, and it's like you've also got to remember, like, they're gonna have such a good eye on your business, probably better than you are, because they've been an outsider and they've not been in your business for long. So like it's quite refreshing really having her on the team, because she comes up with bright ideas, and I can bounce my ideas off her now, and I can kind of like do all that kind of stuff. So it is very, very refreshing. And also it just means that I have time to do other things within my business, because I'm hoping to shift some of my work. I have shifted some of my workload onto her. So it's quite nice to do it that way. But that's a very exciting venture, I think, for both of us.
I'm excited as well, because I'm doing some we've got some filming with Nick. Actually, me and Nick are doing some filming, so we've got our Christmas party on Saturday in Manchester, so we're going to meet up an hour earlier and like get all of our content filmed for December, because I think that I want to get it all filmed together so that I know it's like good standard and it's covering everything we need. So I sat down and like I've brainstormed all the content, so we're going to go and film that on Saturday. So I'm quite excited to go and get that done.
That'll be good. So business side of things, tick.
Yes.
Future plans, bodybuilding,
future plans. So am I going first?
Yeah.
I was sat with Dan watching the show when we was on stage, and it was really nice actually, because Dan already knew in his head, he's like, we're going to do this next time, we're going to do that next time. So before I'd even got on stage at the Worlds, he already had like a plan in terms of what we were going to change. So we basically decided, because obviously I've done 2021 British October straight into prep for the universe 2022. So that was basically 2 back-to-back preps with a month off in between. And then we had a year off and then went into prep for this show. So that was a year and a half between shows, but I stayed really lean until September, October. So, and then we mini cutted in January. So when we actually were talking about it, we were like, actually, like that off season wasn't that productive. It wasn't that productive, because I stayed lean until September. We basically had probably October, November, December, 3 months. We then mini cut Jan, Feb, and then we had March and April, and then we started prepping May. So we probably had 4 or 5 months.
Which isn't a lot, is it?
So when I actually looked at it, I was like, actually, you know what? It was a year and a half between the shows, but actually it probably wasn't enough. So we're basically going to take a really good amount of time off now, because we know now that I need to build more muscle. And basically I need more muscle.
And also just like get bigger. Like just eat food, and like, because you are very a controlled person. I feel like that's why it took you so long to gain weight, and I feel like you almost need to strip that off you and just
go for it.
You just go for it. Like obviously there's a point where you're gaining too much weight, but at the end of the day, like, you could have had a very productive year and a half, provided you literally just didn't diet throughout the whole thing. Like you don't have to do that. You can slightly maintain and then go up again, or if you slightly lose appetite, just a 4-week cut. Like, exactly. But I think it's just because, like, people are like, not saying that you were scared to do that, but I feel like when you don't plan out the year and a half that you have ahead of time, you just don't know, like, you don't know what you're doing, if that makes sense. Like you don't know
Yeah.
how much time you've had in this phase and this phase, and like now you've
Yeah.
actually looked back, you're like, oh shit,
Yeah, exactly.
I was
So
actually only chunky for
yeah.
like, I'll get told off for saying chunky.
Oh, I did see that.
I was so
I know
enraged.
what you mean. It's all relevant, isn't it? That's the thing.
It's like relevant to, I feel like, what we do, but then
Yeah.
also like what I try to positively kind of put out there. Like I feel like that girl just put chunky into a negative light when that wasn't what I was trying to put into. Like I can understand maybe like because people don't view me as chunky, maybe
Yeah.
that's why she was like, how can you say that? Because then, because Beth was saying to me, she was like, because if someone else doesn't look like you, then they'll think that they're worse if you feel
Right.
that
Yeah.
way. And I was like, no, but I'm trying to say like it's okay not to be stage lean. Like it's
Yeah.
completely relative to bodybuilding.
It just got taken out of context a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah. I was like, oh,
Yeah. But basically, we're going to do a big off season. So last time, because I had a lot of socials on, I wanted to stay a bit lean because I had like my best friend was getting married. I had my best friend's hen do. It was just a lot. So
yeah,
we're basically going to reverse up to whenever that is, probably like just after Christmas, get things back in a good spot. And then we're going to do basically the whole of next year in off season without any form of diet. So
yeah.
we just, that's the longest I've ever done an off season for. So we're going to really go for next year. Like, just go for it and eat some food. Like, I feel like mentally I need a big break as well, because although it was a year from like the between the two last preps, as in when I started the prep, I feel like I just mentally need time to actually build food, eat food, like enjoy, just basically not be dieting. I just feel like I need a mental break from dieting. So we're going to do a good solid off season, and then we're going to do late 2025 shows. So like October 2025. And we're going to do like basically break the prep down into two halves. So because I think for me, it'll work better not having to push like super hard for a long time, as in like not losing all fullness, because I think that happened a bit last time. So we're basically going to diet at the start of the year, get a good few kilos off, and then come up to like maintenance, have a few off-plan meals for maybe like 5-6 weeks, and then we're going to go back into the second half of the year for a second lot of diet of prep basically. So we're going to do like a much longer prep probably for the most of 2025, but we're going to chunk it down into two halves so we don't have to.
Like a pre-prep diet that a lot of people are
Yeah.
doing at the moment. So it's not really like a prep. It's like you just try not to get, you're just trying to trim off like what
Yeah.
needs to be
Yeah.
trimmed and then just enjoy life and then go back into a diet kind of thing.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. So it's going to be 2 years from now, basically, that I compete again. So I
What's the highest your food has ever gotten in off season? I'm
think
intrigued.
it were about 3,000. So it wasn't bad.
So it does get quite high then.
Yeah, but so what we've done so far is I had obviously the couple of days in Spain, and then I went back to like my pre-show high day food, which was, I worked it out, it was about 2.2k on a training day.
Okay.
And then I checked in Sunday just gone, and so that would have been a week after the show. And then it bumped my food up quite a lot, which I haven't worked the calories out yet, but it's a lot. It's quite a lot more. I'm guessing it's another maybe 500 or 600 calories, I think, off the top of my head, but I've not worked it out.
Yeah.
But it's quite a lot of food. So I don't think I'm too far off 3,000 calories now.
Nice. And it will only get like somewhat
Yeah.
higher from there, which is kind of what you need. Like I feel like you just need a long time at 3,000 calories.
I just need some food. I was just so ready to have like, I've been absolutely fine post show. I just, when you're just eating like oats and like nice food and like salmon and bread, and I'm just like, God, this is like, I just need more of this food.
Yeah, you just need to get cheeks like this.
Yeah, but I'm quite excited, I'm quite excited to like, I think this
You'll
is the
get
most
really
excited I've ever
strong as
been.
well. Like you'll get really strong.
Yeah.
You'll like you'll just, I think you'll surprise yourself with how much you enjoy the off season. Like you'll
Yeah.
have moments where like you're probably just a bit taken back by like how much body fat you probably will be holding and for how long. But like I feel like I'm so appreciative that I have done as long off seasons as I have done, just because I really respect my body and I really like respect it in every kind of way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Like, and it really does allow me to kind of like just open up to anything. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. just
it,
like embracing it a bit, isn't it? Rather than resenting it, being like, just get stuck in, enjoy it for what it is.
yeah. And just like
Um,
the strength aspect of it, like it's so
yeah,
like obviously you get strong in your off season, but I mean like you'll probably reach new levels of like strength now that you're not dieting as often and doing those types of things.
yeah.
You'll be actually a year. Imagine a year of just
I know.
food, like
I'm
and
really
training.
excited.
It's
And
gonna
it's
be
cool because it's like, I hopefully, well, there is going to be like a big difference next time I get on stage, which is
yeah.
really exciting. So I'm just excited to get stuck in because obviously training's going up really steady at the minute. So we're going to do 3 weeks, just reverse, get food a bit more. And then we're going to do a new training plan from there. Something that did actually come up was we really need to work on my abs because just genetically, I just do not have abs genetically.
Yeah.
Like I have to be very, very lean to have any sort of ab definition. And
You have a
even
bleep,
then,
just not like
yeah, they're just not like, I just don't have like the girls that placed, they were like abs on abs. And I just, yeah, genetically don't have that. So we need to basically build abs. So we need to do a lot more ab work. And I did add ab work in my off season last time, but obviously it just wasn't enough and not for long enough. So we need to, this time, we're going to program in some more kind of ab work into the off season as well to try and build them a bit more because it didn't help that I was a bit watery on the day, like a bit not bloated, but a bit like washed over. But we definitely need more abs. So there's going to be some hefty ab work in the new plan.
that sounds wild. To be fair, I probably need to do that as well. Like
I like doing abs.
I don't. I don't like doing abs or calves or arms, but I need to be better at all of them. Like it's actually hilarious. Like you can just tell I don't like it because you look at my physique and you're like, yeah, you can tell. Like you can tell. Oh,
Oh God.
I need to. I'm very excited to like. I'm very excited to diet. I think now, like obviously I'm going to New York.
Exciting.
On Friday. Well, I'll be in New York by the time you guys listen to this. So I'm in New York and I'm having the best time of my life. No, but I'm going to New York for the first
There's
10
loads of good
days.
sandwiches in from New York.
Huh?
There's loads of good sandwich places in New York.
Isn't it like aren't they like baguettes? Like isn't it more baguette style?
I don't know. I think they're like pastrami sandwiches or something. Oh,
I'm way excited for bagels.
yes.
Excited for bagels. So yeah, going to New York. So that's just gonna be that like this whole December is just crazy. So I go to New York, I come back on the 12th, I then go to Norfolk on the 21st until I think for a whole week, and
Oh,
then
no.
it's the New Year's Eve. So I am
What are you doing New Year's Eve?
no idea. No
Oh,
idea yet. But I said to Reese, I was like, we're doing something because last year we spent it. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure it's lovely when you have a family and like you don't really fancy going out. But like we spent it with like his mum's friends, family. And for me, like I like to go out for New Year's Eve. So I said to him, I was like, Reese, we're
we're
doing,
going out.
even if we just go to a bar
Yeah,
and have some cocktails,
yeah,
even if we don't make it to New Year's Eve, like New
yeah,
Year's, we're doing something where it involves going out. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
we're doing it. And then I'm going to be dieting on the 3rd of January because I just need to give myself 2 days grace period of like potentially being hungover, but then also getting my shit together and
Yeah.
then dieting.
Are you still doing your own thing? Like you don't have a coach or anything?
No, so still doing my own thing, still training myself, still kind of like doing food myself as well. Like I will be completely honest with you, like I don't have a meal plan I follow. I generally don't have calories that I follow at the moment. I know kind of like what food and how much food I need to eat to
Yeah,
be hit at maintenance because right now I don't really want to get any heavier because it's not warranting anything. Like I'm big enough at the moment to where I feel happy and comfortable, but still really curvy and enough fat for that to essentially go into training and growing
yeah,
muscle. So I've completely kind of like I don't want to like put a label to it, but I want to almost call it intuitively eating, but kind of not
it
at
is really,
the
isn't it?
same time. And for me, I just think it's working so much better for me. Like I'm the strongest I've ever been at training. I am doing the exercises that I want to do. I am still eating like pretty much the same food, but if I fancy a stir fry one evening, I'll have a stir fry one
Yeah,
evening. If I fancy spaghetti bolognese, I'll have that. I have very good nutritional
yeah,
understanding and I still follow somewhat of a plan. Like I still
yeah.
know how many carbs I need to have in this
Yeah.
meal. And I
And you're
just
still hitting your fundamentals. It's not like you're sacking it off and not eating any meals and then having like a takeaway in the evening.
exactly. But there are some days that are like that, like when I'm busy with work and stuff. Like it sometimes does get like that where I travel to London and I just didn't have time to eat and
Yeah.
to get something out. And it's things like that that I feel like I'm become more relaxed with. And but then
Right.
I
Yeah.
do always try and reach my protein goal. So I always know like, right, I'm
Okay.
not really eating that much protein, so it's time
Yeah.
to
Like
get some.
fundamentals are still there in terms of like regular protein servings, plenty of fruit and veg, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly that. So plan is to diet for a photo shoot. I would like Reese is like Sania. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna lose like 10 kilo. And he was like, Sania, he was like, I swear your stage weight was like 55 kilos. He was like, I doubt you're gonna lose 10 kilos. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, I don't want to get that lean. Because in my head I was like, oh my god, I've gained so much. Um,
You still look great though.
I feel like it's just where I hold my body
You
fat.
do hold body fat very, very nicely.
Like this is what I feel like people like forget. Like I don't really hold it on my stomach. I hold it on my arms and my legs, and that's about it. Like I just feel like and my ass. So I feel like people think that I'm leaner than I am, and in reality like I'm actually quite big. It's just I hold it differently.
Right.
So I would quite like to get to like sub 60. So I would love to be in like just in the 50s again.
Yeah.
Um, just so I can do a photo shoot.
What
Like
are you at the minute?
I'm 66.7 at the moment.
Okay. So
So
it's
like
like not tons.
yeah, and I feel like it will come off of me. Like I feel like it
Yeah.
will come off of me because I'm not doing any cardio at the moment. Like I'm doing like what, I don't know, 5 to 6 thousand steps a day just
Right. You've got a lot to play with there.
so a lot to play
Yeah.
with. Um my food is relatively high. Like I'll have some cookies like almost every evening if I want. So like sometimes
Lol.
my calories are like high.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking to diet in Jan, like I have a few clients who are also dieting, and I'd love to maybe do like a group kind
Yeah.
of thing in like March or something. But just a quick kind of mini cut just to see where I'm at. And then in terms of like future, I still have no idea whether I want to do bikini or figure, but I think I've kind of come to the conclusion that I'm just going to do both. So I don't know how it's going to work yet, but what are you okay?
Sorry, I can hear my dogs dragging something along the floor and the door's shut and Will's not in. So I'm like, what are they destroying?
Go check on them. I'll keep chatting.
Bear with me.
But no worries. But yeah, no, I definitely think that I'm gonna do both. I feel like like I said on the post that I did, I feel like toned figure and bikini is quite similar, like two bros bikini. So I'm
I can
thinking
kind of still hear you.
you can't oh you can good. So I was thinking of basically doing like my first show as like toned figure,
Yeah.
then getting leaner and hopefully get like a qualification or like an invite to like the universe or something when I want to
Yeah.
compete because I don't ever really want to compete at the back end of the year anymore because it's too busy with work.
Yeah.
So I would absolutely love to get like to compete in figure first and time it so I can do the toned figure universe and maybe get somewhat of a title back.
Yeah.
Um, and hopefully, like, I would love to obviously get like Miss Universe or because it won't be the British and it probably won't be the world. So it'll probably be like Miss Universe, whatever. Um, and then I was thinking of doing just like a two bros regional after that, maybe like 3 weeks later. So come in a lot harder, a lot leaner. Because I feel like there is that bridge, you do have
Yeah.
to get a lot leaner. I feel like for two bros bikini than toned figure. And then what I'll do is I'll do some pro qualifiers and stuff like that. And then hopefully see how that goes. And then that maybe will determine whether or not I do the Miss Universe or not. Like, I'm under no kind of like expectation that I'll get a pro card, like especially at that time of the year because it is a lot harder to get your pro card at that time of the year. But I would just love to see if I've improved upon my Alicante
Yeah.
look. And I want to do pro qualifiers because I just want to see, like, is it worth me doing any more years of like building for something that
Yeah.
maybe I don't want to do? Like, how close am I? How close am
Yeah.
I to
Yeah.
doing that? If I'm this close and I came second in the overall for whatever reason, maybe, I don't know, then okay, maybe I might do another like 6 months of, and then I'll diet again. But if I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm so far away, fuck bikini, I'm just gonna stick with PCA. I
Yeah.
love toned figure. I feel like a lot of people on social media want me to go back to figure.
I think
A lot of people, and I love figure. I don't know, like I still am undecided.
you can, like you said though, you can always do both. I
Yeah,
do think I think tone figure and PCA is just such a lovely class. Like I just love it.
yeah, I do as well. And every time, like my training is more figure. I won't lie. My training is like more figure, kind of like based. And that's not because of me trying it to be. That's just purely based off the fact that that's how I love training. I love training
Yeah.
chest. I love doing presses. Like, I don't like doing a copious amounts of lateral raises. I don't like just doing delts and fucking glutes. Like, it's really not my vibe. I don't like not deadlifting.
Yeah.
Like, there's certain things that I love to do. So this is why I feel like next season it will just quite literally be where Sania just hops in and out of shows, not
Fun,
knowing.
isn't it? Like there's no pressure, is there? And I think
Yeah,
a lot of people put themselves in a box and they're like, I am two bros bikini, whereas like you can just have fun and do what you feel like doing.
exactly. There is one thing that I know I will never do again, which is PCA bikini, because I feel like that just, I feel like that's just going in a direction that I personally don't
Yeah.
think is bikini. I mean, I think that it's just getting leaner and leaner each year, and I think there needs to be a point where it's like, okay, like what are you
Yeah.
actually like looking for in bikini? Like, can you just explain to me what you actually view a bikini girl as? Because from what I know, they are not sliced, but you are rewarding people who are sliced. And that's just not how I would want to come in. So I definitely know that I won't be doing PCA bikini, but
Yeah.
I will be doing. I, I know I want to do another figure. I know in
Yeah.
my heart, if this is my last season or whatever, I know I have to do another figure
Do you
show.
think it would be a last season?
I don't know. It really, like I said, it really depends on how the season goes
Yeah.
because it's just like one of those things where it's like I will just be competing for my own kind of like want. If like
Yeah.
you can't get a pro card in toned figure, I don't want to get big enough for athletic, and I don't generally want to get that lean because that's just not how I like to view myself. Like I love
Yeah.
the toned figure look.
Yeah.
So what am I just gonna do? Just keep winning, potentially trying to win the same title or like trying to get better than I did. And I understand that natural progression, but
Mhm.
for me, like I'm just not sure like it just warrants me to put my body through that. Like I'm very like health conscious, and having a family for me is so incredibly important. Like I think so far into the future where I'm like if I do well, it's like cool, I've done well, like I'm happy, I'm content. I don't really want to, like if they tell me I need to get bigger, but then I'm like actually I don't want to get bigger.
Yeah.
What's the point in competing? I'll just
Yeah, I completely
body
get what you
build
mean. Mm.
without having to compete. But like I feel like I will always make, I think I feel like I've definitely got another one in my locker. I will be
Yeah.
competing again, but that season will just determine, because then it's like, what do I need to take another 2 years out, and then what, I'm 26 at that point, and it's
Yeah.
like, well actually like by the time I'm 28, like I'd actually quite like to
Yeah.
start a family. Like it
Yeah.
just doesn't really work. If I was someone who wanted to have kids at like 35, which is probably more common,
Yeah.
I can understand, but I've always wanted to be a young mum because I want life
Yeah.
after kids. So it's
Yeah.
like it's quite difficult.
Just weighing up what you want, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah. But
And
it's
not put press on it.
this is it, and this is what I'm loving with not having a coach at the moment, is
Yeah.
not having the pressure. It's just doing things at my own pace. And
Mhm.
I don't even know if I'm going to prep myself or if I'm going to get a coach or if I'm going to get Reese
Yeah.
to do it. I'm kind of basing the diet phase on how I am in January,
Yeah.
if I'm actually capable of doing anything like that. But that's pretty much me, like still undecided, still don't have a clue, just living life and getting out of that generic shit where every bodybuilder has to be at 100% all the time. I feel like
Yeah.
that definitely overconsumed me. And now I'm like at a really good place where I'm like, I can still bodybuild and do my business whilst not being so overconsumed by it. Because that's one thing that
Yeah.
made me stop loving bodybuilding and training in general. And now I love everything about it.
Yeah, that's literally what I want to do this off season. It's like I'm on it, right? I hit all my meals. I don't miss my meals. I don't miss training. My steps are done every day. Like I'm very on it with the structure. But I also love going on holiday. I love going out with my family and my friends. I love eating out. I go for
Just love
drinks.
eating.
I just love food. Like, let's be honest. But I just want to try and like share that this time and like show more live stuff and just be able to, because I'm next time I compete, right? I'm gonna be 29, nearly 30.
Woo!
Mad at the end of 2025 because it's like 2 years away, right?
That's
So
crazy. That's still
in my
young though. Apparently your life actually starts when you're 35, 40. So I've heard.
the 30s are a great prime time because you've like got your shit together, you've figured everything out, like you've
Yeah.
built your business or done your job or your career up to a good level, like you got a bit of money, you got your house. Like I just feel like
I honestly am the same. Like I look
yeah,
forward to being 34. Like don't get me wrong, like getting older in the 20s because I still want to remain young. But
yeah,
like when I just think about what my life's gonna be like in like 10 years time, and I'm like, my life's like this now. It's gonna be fucking immense in 10 years time.
yeah, it's exciting, isn't it? And I think I kind of think as well, like me and Will have got the house now, like we've got the dogs. Obviously, he's sorted in his job. I've got my business, which is growing. And in my head, I'm like, right, I really just want to dedicate the next few years to like enjoying competing, like getting the house a bit more sorted, just but also like living life and being able to like go on holiday because I think this is like the time now for us to just enjoy just being us two and just being able to go out and, you know, go nice places, enjoy life, enjoy dates, go on holidays,
Yeah.
like just do life stuff. So in my head, I'm like, we've been prepping for so long. Like we've literally been on prep the whole time we've been in this house, right? Since we moved in together. So
Yeah.
in my head, I'm like, I want to just be able to live life and still bodybuild but just like go on, we've got loads of holidays planned for next year. So, just do loads of fun stuff.
Because isn't Will like almost finishing up his career in bodybuilding, or has he
He's done
decided
now.
against that now? Yeah,
Yeah.
he's completely done now. So I suppose like he's then not like so lethargic because he's eating
Yeah,
so much food and he's not
exactly.
struggling to do things because he's so heavy. Like your life is now.
Yeah. So we're like, right, we're going for this.
Yeah, like we are like no Fs, we're
Yeah.
just going for, and I love that because like I feel like you need to do that. Like if
Yeah.
you don't do that, it's very silly because you just don't appreciate time with each other then.
Yeah. And also like I don't want to get like if I did ever have kids, it wouldn't be too much later. But I don't want to miss out on this part of my life where I'm like, it's my selfish time to just live my
Yeah.
life.
Exactly that. So it's exciting. I can't wait. I can't wait to like take these guys who are listening now
Yeah.
throughout the process because I feel like it'll be nice because we both have been in a prep since we
Yeah.
started this podcast, and now we can finally kind of educate people more on like what it's actually like in an off season, like what you can actually get up to and how fun it is, and like there's just so many things to an off season. Like I feel like there's only so much you can update in a prep. Wow, I'm getting leaner, I've lost a few kilos,
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty shit. With a prep there's like so much more that does generally go on in life.
Yeah.
So it would be really cool for like these guys to actually, because I don't feel like people do actually go into off seasons that often or
Yeah.
go into long off seasons that often. So it's
I'm
quite nice to
excited.
actually kind of show
Yeah.
people what it's like.
It's gonna be fun. I'm probably excited as well because I've been obviously I've got my meal plan from Dan, but I'm like, if you scroll right back on my page, right, when I first started this page, all I posted was like recipes and cooking and like nutrition. It's basically just food. So I'm excited to like get back into a bit of cooking again and like I'll still stick to my meal plan, but I just swap a few things around. Like I made some like really nice wraps with like a nice like filling and I made some like beef burgers for tea last night, some like homemade ones. So I'm excited to like get stuck into that a bit more and do some more like nice cooking stuff as well.
Oh, that'd be lovely. I love going in the kitchen, it's fun.
Yeah,
I want to
so
start making some bread, like my own bread. I've been watching
Will's mum made his bread and it was amazing.
sourdough.
It was just like a wholemeal loaf. It was so good, honestly. I literally could have eaten about 10 loaves of it.
Honestly, I want to start like I want to make my own croissants. I want to start making my own. Like, I want to be that person who makes everything fresh.
Well, if you make bread, please bring me some because
Bring you a loaf. Well,
yeah.
I can give you the trial one.
Thanks. We'll report back next podcast on
I'll be like,
Sania's bread.
but you know what? That's definitely something that I would love to do because I feel like it's
Get a bread maker.
such a flex. I know how to make bread. Do you not think like bread's a hard thing to make? Like room temperature shit and like
Don't you just put it on in a bread maker?
Leah, no.
Oh.
It's like you've got to let it like sit and then rise and then get like fluffy and then poke the little I've been watching loads of TikTok videos. Is a lot more to it. So
I can't wait to see the bread.
I'll try and FaceTime you when I make it and I bet you this whole place will be full of flour. Like
Make some bread for the next podcast and we can rate the bread.
You're asking a bit there. I best start practicing now.
Can't wait for this.
Right, shall we finish it off there?
Yes, we're all done. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching. And we really appreciate you guys, holding off for us. But you've already had one podcast and now you've got a second. You will be getting a third and fourth.
Hopefully. Amazing.
Anyway, like and subscribe. Thank you guys.
And we'll be back soon.
Bye.